Everybody, this is Charles and I am back with another toy review, this time for Bandai's Metal Build Strike Freedom Gundam! Alright, so Strike Freedom Gundam is an extremely huge box. As you can see, my camera is unable to capture the entire box. But here is a very awesome, big looking Gundam. Alright, just here to show you some of the box art, and without further ado, let's go to show Strike Freedom Gundam. Alright, so prior to the review, I've actually assembled Strike Freedom Gundam. So he is a massive piece. Let me just adjust the camera a little bit. Alright, so right now we're looking at Strike Freedom Gundam. So he's a massive piece with a massive backpack and a lot of accessories, and that's a lot of fun. So he comes with the backpack detached and the guns and the side guns detached, but and also comes with this whole tray. This tray of extra shields, beam saber, and a lot of hands. I'm not going to go through them in detail for this review. I'm just going to go through more on the robot. So as you can see over here from the picture, from the video, the backpack is extremely huge. All right. In fact, you look at the width of the backpack is even wider than the Gundam itself. So you can see there's a lot of weight on the backpack. But however, you can see that for Strike Freedom Gundam, he can actually stand quite well on his own. You see, it's relatively vertically straight and can stand quite well despite the weight of the backpack. The trick to make him stand on his own without having any stand is to spread the legs apart. Alright, I know it sounds a little bit wrong, but you have to open the legs a little bit. Alright, and as you open them, you have to angle them outwards this way. So as long as you angle them outwards, these two bays, okay, will act as support, such that when the weight is actually moving backwards, these two parts, okay, will also stop the Strike Freedom from falling backwards. So for him to actually stand on his own, you need to actually spread the legs wide a little bit, and then you got to turn them out at an angle. So once you get it at a right angle, nice angle, he can stand relatively stable on his own this way without toppling over. Alright, so this is how you actually get it done. For the review proper, I have to dismantle him a little bit so that it's easier for me to review him. So first off, let me just get the backpack out. Alright, so I'm going to detach the backpack. Alright, so I'll go through the review on this backpack later on. So first, let me go through the review on Strike Freedom, but before that, let me just take out some of the extra parts on Strike Freedom. Okay. So let me just shift this forward first. Shift this part forward as well. Okay, and once I've done it, let me just take them out first. Yeah, so it's easier for me to review the figure. Alright, so here we have Strike Freedom Gundam. So it's he's a very nice and awesome figure. So there's a lot of gold color to him. So as you can see, this the joints over here, the elbow, these are chrome gold, alright? Similarly to the wrist over here, this gold part is chrome gold. The fist is painted chrome, alright? If I were to show you over here, inside the shoulder portion, the gold, the outside portion of this gold is actually painted, but the inside portion of the joint, alright, is actually gold chrome. Okay, gold chrome metal. And over here internally, you see over here, this is painted, right? Inside here is painted as well. Okay, and then if I were to lift up the side skirts over here, the inner frame over here, alright, this entire part of the hip portion, alright, inside the gold, it's gold chrome. Really awesome. Alright, as for the knees as well, gold chrome. Okay, metallic gold, and this portion is actually painted. So same as the feet as well, this portion inside, gold chrome. So there's a lot of die-cast parts, okay, that's gold chrome, which is really amazing, and I really love it. Alright, so right now let's go through the articulation from head to toe. Head-wise, okay, the neck-wise, you can move front, back, alright, quite a very nice range of motion. You can also move the neck portion sideways, you can see over here, you can move it sideways. Alright. So as usual, be careful when handling the head because these fins are plastic, okay, they're not rubber and there's no replacement part. So do exercise caution when you're actually moving them. The chest part is very interesting. So over here you see the chest part, when you move it downwards, okay, you hear a click sound. So you can actually see this part actually moving down a line. So this black part will move down along the blue portion, see? It's really nice, and you can hear a click sound as well. And as you move down, it reveals more of the back part of the goal. So it's really cool. Let's move back up, and over here you can move sideways. Alright, and the waist you can rotate it as well. Okay, so shoulders wise, alright, shoulders wise the concept is similar to the Freedom Gundam. You can actually pop it up this way. So the way the joint is made is such that it allows you to actually move it up this much. But unlike the unlike the Freedom, whereby you cannot move the shoulders beyond this point, Bandai actually allowed you to actually move this 360. So while this portion of the shoulder is actually movable to allow you to do certain poses, to move up without having to move the shoulder all the way, it doesn't restrict you from moving the entire arm around. So you can actually have unlimited posability for Strike Freedom, which is really cool. So over here the shoulder can move up, this cap can move upwards, the inside portion, this can actually move upwards as well. So you can actually move your hands upward this much. And if you look at the shoulder points over here, you can see that this shoulder pad here, it actually can move as well. So there's a lot of articulation. And similarly, looking over here, you can actually stretch the, move the arms, shoulder portion outwards as well. It's very cool. And over here, okay, the elbow wise, the shoulder wise, you can actually rotate it over here, but it's really stiff. So right now I haven't been able to rotate it much. It's really stiff and it takes a lot of strength for me to move it. So I'm not going to strain this figure since it's so brand new. But what I can show you guys, okay, let me just take out this portion first, okay? Take out this portion, and the lower part of the elbow can actually rotate as well. So over here you see, I can actually rotate this part of the elbow 360 if I want to, and then I can actually, this has a double jointed elbow that allows me to move all the way in. So you can see it actually moves all the way in this much. So it's really awesome in terms of the articulation. Let me just straighten this out. Okay, as I straighten this out, I'm going to rotate this portion back. Okay, and over here, the wrist wise, look at the articulation for the wrist. You can actually move it up, down this much. So there's really a lot of articulation going on over here. And yes, this inner part here is gold chrome, right? So cool. So for this portion, this is actually the shield portion. So what you want to do if you want to actually change the shield, you need to take the beam saber. All right, you just push this bottom part out. Once it's out, okay, you just fit the other portion in. So this thing, okay, it's actually a two-part shield. So this is soft plastic and this is hard plastic. All right, soft and hard. So when you push this in, you got the shield over here. So this shield, you can just rotate it. You can just place it back over here. So you can do it for both sides. All right. So I'm just take this out. I'm gonna replace this accessory again. Okay. Put this back in. Okay. So actually, I'm done with the upper part of the articulation. So for the skirt wise, you can actually move it up this much, about 90 degrees. You can actually move the skirt outwards as well. Similarly for the back skirt, you can move it all the way about I think it's a good 70 degrees. Alright. Okay, just get this out of the way. And then in terms of moving the legs sideways, you can actually move it close to 90 degrees. Alright, so I think about 70 degrees over here. And the joint over here, okay, is interesting in the fact that you can actually move it upwards. Okay, so the joint right now is actually this entire joint, rather than just having the thighs packed into a ball joint at the hip. The hip portion is now actually a movable joint by itself. As you can see, I'm not sure my camera can capture it clearly. So this is actually a joint by itself that actually moves. Alright. So this actually gives Freedom more articulation. Okay, you can actually do the kneeling pose easily. Let me just show you guys over here. So you can actually do the kneeling pose very effortlessly over here. Okay, but the fact that the thigh joint is made this way allows the thigh to actually move forward more. Alright, so it's actually very cool. And even to move the knees upwards and then you should move down to show the double jointed knees. This is very cool as well. Like I said earlier, gold chrome. Really awesome. Alright, let's just move this down first. Okay, and now turning our attention to the back here, the fins, okay, you can actually move the back fins upwards, and the detail inside is really cool. So you can see the fins at the back here. So at the back, they actually painted this portion gold, and also in the inner side of the funnel, it's silver. So there's a lot of effort to actually paint this piece, which is makes it really awesome and worth the very expensive price tag that it carries. Yes, it is 27,000 Japanese yen, which I think is about close to based on the current exchange rate, probably 255 or 260 US dollars, right? And the bottom part, this part of the feet, you can't move it, but you can actually move the other part of the feet, okay, to actually move it according to the pose that you want to have. And over here, you can actually move the ankle this much, and there we more or less have Strike Freedom Gundam. Okay, I've gone through more or less the articulation for the robot itself. Okay, let me just adjust the alignments. Okay, this is done. Does he stand right? Okay, he's standing a little bit tilted. Let me just adjust him a little bit. Yes, I'm quite a perfectionist when it comes to adjusting the pose of my Gundam figures. Okay, this feels right. Okay, so I'm gonna move him away for the time being and go through the other parts of his accessories. So over here, before I actually assemble this portion, this is supposed to be his waist cannon. So you actually open it up, right? Like so. Okay, once you open it up, you actually extend this, and there you have the waist cannon over here. So there's two parts of it, which I'll assemble in a while later. And right now, okay, since I'm at it, I might as well assemble the waist cannon. So the waist cannons wise, you can actually assemble them, pack it in over here. Okay, one over here. Oops. The beam saber portion tends to fall out, but anyway, this is the beam saber portion. Yeah, typical beam saber of a metal built figure. So this part, actually the handle fits in over here, but it tends to fall out pretty easily sometimes. Yeah, because it doesn't really stay in there tightly. So over here, you put the other side in as well. So there's two ways to actually display his waist. So over here you can see I can actually display him this way. So when he's in attack mode, you actually open it up, extend it, and there you have the waist cannon. Alright. Okay, let me just transform it back. Okay, but when he's actually not using the waist cannon, what you can do actually is just to pull down over here, this skirt, okay? Okay, so you can pull it down, and then you can flip it to the back. Okay, like I said, this beam saber actually falls off pretty easily. By the way, this part can rotate and move it to the back. And you can see that these two portions actually align really nicely. So this part, when you actually move it to the back, it aligns very nicely. Okay, so once you actually align these two parts together, you see you have these two packs. These are actually for you to actually pack in his beam rifles. So, okay, let me adjust this. So Strike Freedom actually comes with actually two beam rifles as well. You can actually attach at the sides. Okay, but the beam rifle itself is really cool. It's not just any ordinary beam rifle. It can actually be assembled into a massive long beam rifle, which I shall do right now. So by itself, you will see that the beam rifle is as such. So it's two identical beam rifles. Okay, two identical beam rifles. Let me just put it to the back. So technically it should be exactly the same, but they're actually different. So how to actually form the long beam rifle? What you're gonna do first? Am I getting the right one? Okay, this is the correct one. Okay, you actually extend over here, so it's a double. So you extend the rifle over here. You gotta unpack this portion over here. Okay, so when you unpack this, you actually unlock it. So you unlock it, push this portion downwards. All right, it allows you to extend the handle over here. So you pull it all the way down. Okay, once this is down, you will close this, you'll push in this grey pack again to lock it in place. Okay, this portion, pull it, okay, rotate 90 degrees downwards, and push it in again. Okay, so you're done for this part of the gun. Okay, for the second part of the gun, you have to extend, okay, extend the back portion. So you just pull and extend this part, alright? Once you're done, Okay, this portion of the rifle goes into this hole over here, and there you have the entire rifle. This rifle is really long. This badass rifle is 27 centimeters long. How long in inches? You do the conversion, but it is 27 inches long, and this is his really cool core double beam rifle, right? It's really, really cool. And just okay, so it's yeah. So the beam rifle is okay. It stays in pretty tight. Okay, it doesn't really fall. But you know, when you actually lock it in, it doesn't feel like it stays in that tight. But when you shake it, it doesn't really fall out. So this portion is done. The instructions do say to be careful when handling the rifle. So do be careful when you're handling this rifle. Just put this back in, and remember, whenever you put it back, you got to pull this portion out. Okay, pull this, put it back in, push it up. All right, and then you lock it in. But in this case, you don't lock it in because I'm gonna put it at the side. Anyway, so I'm gonna put put the rifle at the side here. Right, and move the arms down. Okay, so now I'm going to go through the wing pack. This is a backpack of Strike Freedom. So this is the most awesome part of Strike Freedom. And die-cast portion wise, you have the chrome joints over here, right? You can see in between the wings and over here the side, these are the chrome joints. In terms of movement wise for this, you can actually move the thrusters downwards over here, you can move it downwards over here. Alright, the top of the wing portion over here. Actually, this parts, okay, these four parts are all, okay, so this part and these four parts are all identical, alright? They're all very identical, so you can actually move this like one notch up, one notch down, sorry, and one notch up. So you can do it the same for both sides. And you can actually you can actually rotate the wings, okay? So if you want to, you can rotate the wings, or you can actually have the wings facing backwards, depending on how you like to pose your Strike Freedom Gundam, alright? But the of course the highlight of this is that you can actually expand the wing. So what you're going to do, you're going to raise it all the way up, okay? And extend the wings. So when you raise it up, you actually will align it as such. Okay, let me see if I align it correctly. Yep, I'm actually aligning it correctly. So this is one side of the wing. Okay, so similarly, you move the back portion up all the way. Move this up. Actually move this down. Move this up a little bit. Actually align them nicely. Move this. Okay, have we got it nice correctly? Yes. Just gotta move it up a little bit more. And this is the wings totally open. Really cool. So in order to, so you need to remove the wings from the funnel. So when you're removing the wings from the funnel, do exercise caution. So you need to pull it out. Okay, once you pull it out, okay, do not pull it out this way. Once you pull it out, once you actually extend it outwards, pull it down straight. All right. So this is one funnel. So let's do the other ones. Pull it, okay, and extend it straight. So it's really, really tight. So you got to be really careful when actually doing this part. Okay, I'm going to do this off camera because it's going to take quite a bit of effort for me to actually get it out. Okay, I'm going to do it off camera. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty tight. So I got another one of it out. Okay, so this smaller one. Pull it. Get it out. Right. Pull it. And okay, get it out. So once you get all the wings out, you actually get this. Okay, and we all know that the wings of light parts are coming. Okay, I'm not going to extend the other side because it's going to be a lot of effort to actually take it out. So what I'm going to say is that look at the joints over here. See this teeth, right? This plastic over here is pretty thin, especially for this one, the lower part as well. So you can see this lower part that holds the small funnel. All right. This part of the plastic is really thin, alright? So you gotta be careful because I'm worried that if you were to actually pull it out this way too much, okay, to pull it out this way, you might end up stressing the plastic over here and breaking something. So be really careful when actually taking out the funnels out. So like I said, just pull it out a little bit and pull it down, okay? So that you will actually minimize the stress on this. Similarly for this way as well, the teeth. If you were to actually pull it out this way, I'm very sure that the plastic here will get stressed and strained. You might even break something. So the best is just to get it out and pull it downwards. Alright? So I'm going to put this, all of them back in. So as you put it back in, make sure you align it as closely as possible. Okay, as closely as possible. Get it in. Once you get it in, push it in. It slots in very nicely. So similarly over here, get it in as close as possible. And once you feel the catch of it in, just push it in. Right? As closely as possible. Get it in. Push it down. Okay, nicely. Let me just see if I get the alignment correct for this one. Just to make sure I got the alignment correct. Yep. Okay. Okay, good. So finally for this part, make sure I got the... Okay, slot it in nicely. Okay. Okay. Make sure I get it correctly. Okay. Okay, good. Alright. Slotted it in nicely. Cool. Great. Alright. So I got the wings done nicely. Let me just align them nicely first before I put it back on the backpack. Okay. Okay, align it nicely. So cool. I got the wings aligned nicely. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to insert the backpack onto Strike Freedom. So just going to pack it in. So this part goes into here, here, and here we have Strike Freedom Gundam. Alright, so like I said, if you actually had posed him correctly with the legs open outwards, okay, he'll stand pretty well on his own without having to need a stand. So over here, you see, he stands very well on his own without having to need a stand. You can see the awesomeness of the wings spread out. Let me just raise this up a little bit. So cool. So really cool and so massively amazing. Alright. So he does come with a stand, which of course I'm not showing it in the review right now. As per most of the review, I need to show and go through the details of the robot. So Strike Freedom is really awesome. In terms of the engineering, in terms of the weight, there's a lot of die cast. Whatever gold chrome you see, okay, it's in plated gold chrome you see, it's actually all die cast. And it's really awesome. And Strike Freedom has been the figure that we've been waiting for since Freedom Gundam. I know a lot of people don't really like Freedom Gundam because they feel that it's not really a very good piece. There has been some quality issues with the paint or whatever, but personally I like Freedom Gundam a lot. And Strike Freedom is really a great addition to the Metal Build family, something that we've been waiting for a long time. This figure is actually sold out all over the world, so if you get your hands on this, I would recommend you get a hand on it. But I'm pretty sure even if you miss it out this time round, some years down the road, Bandai will probably reissue this piece. But in the meantime, if you can't wait, you should get it as soon as possible. So I highly recommend this piece. This is really the best Metal Build figure I've actually got since the Double O Riser, and highly recommend you to get it. So here's Charles signing off with yet another toy review. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Do stay tuned to my channel for more reviews next time. For me to review him. So first off, let me just get the backpack out. Alright, so I'm going to detach the backpack. Alright, so I'll go through the review on this backpack later on. So first let me go through the review on Strike Freedom, but before that let me just take out some of the extra parts on Strike Freedom. Okay, so let me just shift this forward first. Shift this part forward as well. Okay, and once I've done it, let me just... Everybody, this is Charles and I am back with another toy review, this time for Bandai's Metal Build Strike Freedom Gundam. Alright, so Strike Freedom Gundam is an extremely huge box. As you can see, my camera is unable to capture the entire box. But here is a very awesome, big looking Gundam. Alright, just here to show you some of the box art, and without further ado, let's go to show Strike Freedom Gundam. Alright, so prior to the review, I've actually assembled, opened them. You have to angle them outwards this way.
So as long as you angle it outwards, these two bays, okay, will act as support, such that when the weight is actually moving backwards, these two parts, okay, will also stop the strike freedom from falling backwards. So for him to actually stand on his own, you need to actually spread the legs wide a little bit, and then you got to turn them out at an angle. So once you get it at a right angle, nice angle, he can stand relatively stable on his own this way without toppling over. Alright, so this is how you actually get it done. For the review proper, I have to dismantle him a little bit so that it's easier for Strike Freedom Gundam. So he is a massive piece. Let me just adjust the camera a little bit. Alright, so right now we are looking at Strike Freedom Gundam. So he's a massive piece with a massive backpack and a lot of accessories, and that's a lot of fun. So he comes with the backpack detached and the guns and the side guns detached, but and also comes with this whole tray. This tray of extra shields, beam saber, and a lot of hands. I'm not going to go through them in detail for this review. I'm just going to go through more on the robot. So as you can see over here from the picture, from the video, the backpack is extremely huge. All right. In fact, you look at the width of the backpack is even wider than the Gundam itself. So you can see there's a lot of weight on the backpack. But however, you can see that for Strike Freedom Gundam, he can actually stand quite well on his own. You see he's relatively vertically straight and can stand quite well despite the weight of the backpack. The trick to make him stand on his own without having any stand is to spread the legs apart. Alright, I know it sounds a little bit wrong, but you have to open the legs a little bit. Alright, and as you